Growing up, a lot of what I learned in life didn't come from my own experiences alone. It came from watching other people, specifically my older brothers. You see, I'm the youngest of four kids. I have three older brothers, which means I learned a lot just by being the youngest and the only girl. One of the most important lessons I learned came from the brother just above me. To be honest, I learned a lot of lessons from him, but there's one in particular that stands out. He was playing baseball one season, pitching, and my dad was one of the coaches. And my brother, bless him, he had a little more ADH energy than the rest of us. So all season long, my dad kept yelling the same thing from the sidelines: focus, focus, focus. Every practice, every game, all season long. Now, either it wasn't working or it had to be said constantly because it really wasn't working. Toward the end of the season, during practice, my dad yelled it again: focus. And God bless my brother, but he finally looked up and said these words: "Hey, Dad, what does focus mean?" I don't know if my dad had a conniption, but it was pretty close. Now, as adults, we can laugh about this story. It's funny. But at the time, that kid spent an entire season being yelled at to do something he didn't understand. And that's the lesson. You can tell someone to do something all day long, all season long. But if they don't understand what you mean, you're quite literally wasting everybody's time. For my dad, it was a leadership lesson. You can't assume people know what you mean just because the word or idea is familiar to you. For my brother, it was a lesson too. Sometimes you have to speak up a little sooner and ask the quote unquote stupid question before you spend months being confused and getting yelled at to do something you don't understand. And I see this everywhere. It's at work, it's in families, it's in friendships and relationships. We assume people understand what we mean, why we mean it, and how they're supposed to act on it. But communication doesn't start with instructions. It starts with a shared understanding. I can yell focus until I lose my voice. But if you don't know what it looks like in practice, nothing changes. Then there's a second part to this too. If someone is communicating something to you and you don't understand it, pulling them aside and saying, "Hey, I just don't get this. Can you explain it differently?" That's not a weakness. It's clarity. It's courage. I've been learning this firsthand at work recently. I moved into a new role about a year ago, which meant learning a lot of new softwares that I'd only ever watched other people use. I can watch videos, I can click all the buttons, but eventually I have to say, "Hey, can you show me how to do this?" And I've learned something important about myself. I am a visual learner. You can explain something to me 10 times, but you can also just walk over to my desk and show me once, and I've got it. So now I teach the same way. Just the other week, someone walked over to my desk and asked me a question, an issue they were having with one of our programs. And I asked, "Do you have it open right now?" And they said, "Yeah, of course." So I said, "Hey, do you want to just walk back over to your desk and we'll fix it together?" And their whole face lit up. Like, heck yeah, let's do it. 2 minutes later, problem solved. And this applies everywhere, not just work. In life, growth depends on knowing how you learn, how you communicate, and how the people around you do the same. I work with engineers and project managers, leaders of all kinds. And yes, it takes effort to learn how people communicate best. Who prefers email, who prefers a chat, who needs visuals, or who needs extra context. But I'd rather put in that effort once than repeat myself forever and get mediocre results at best. Because understanding, it's not about the volume necessarily. It's about translation. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Who in your life are you yelling focus at without ever defining what that means? Who might be confused, not incapable? Who might be willing but unsure? Who might just need you to explain it a little bit differently? Sometimes the most powerful thing you can say isn't louder instructions, but a simple question. Does this make sense to you? Can I show you this another way? Or how do you learn best? That extra step, that extra bit of care, changes everything. It makes work easier, it makes relationships stronger, and life a whole lot smoother. And best of all, You don't have to yell all season long. You just have to make sure you're actually being understood.